Myers. Speaking of Brett Myers, what the starting pitching has been very good. It's been a nice turn all the way through the rotation, and it really started when Myers went to the mound 5 days ago.
It did. We talked about that earlier. He pitched very, very well against the Cardinals, and Bud Norris backed it up and pitched well in getting a victory at St. Louis, and he was really on his game. And then it goes over to Felipe Paulino, and he ended up getting a loss, but 6 really solid innings out of Felipe Paulino before he had that rocky 7th, and then the bullpen failed him. And then the 2 big guns over the weekend against the Cubs at Wrigley, Roy Oswalt, Wandy Rodriguez pitched very well.
Yeah, and that's got to be huge because Roy, 7 innings, no earned runs, and well, he was able to really shut down the Chicago Cubs. And Wandy Rodriguez, another encouraging sign, is he really had everything working for him on Sunday. And more encouraging, obviously, than anything else. You know, you want the starting pitching to be there. The offense coming around just enough, at least, to get the job done. But the fact of the matter is, you take 2 out of 3 in Chicago, you have a totally different attitude when you come home to start a 9-game homestand, and you're doing it with arguably your best player in the lineup.
Yeah, Lance Berkman shot in the arm in a lot of respects, both psychologically as well as the productivity that he is capable of giving you. And, yeah, it's the start of a homestand. It's almost like you're starting fresh, like that first 6-gamer to begin the season when they struggled so much. Didn't exist. You just kind of put that one behind you and start all over again.
Yeah, Brett Myers will go to the mound tonight. Myers very good last time out. Hoping to build on that and do it again today. You still need to get those guys in the middle of the lineup. I think really maybe more so. I'm more curious than to see Lance Berkman hit is to see what it does to the guys batting behind him in the lineup.
Yeah, and they face Chris Volstead, who's a good young pitcher, is 5-2 in his career in April through 117 pitches his last outing. But he's young and strong and fits right in with what the Marlins do. They've got a good young starting rotation.
Game homestand, fresh off a series win against the Cubs in Chicago. And with the return of their offensive leader, Lance Berkman, Houston fans have plenty of reasons to feel good about their team. Brett Myers takes the mound, looking to give his team its first home win of the season. It's the Astros and the Florida Marlins next on Fox Sports Houston. Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, the Astros open a 9-game homestand. It's the first of 3 against the Florida Marlins. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. The Astros with an off day yesterday, off a 3-3 road trip. They won 3 of their last 4, JD.
And the good news continues, because not only have they been winning lately, they get Lance Berkman back to start this long homestand. 9 games here beginning tonight. The Florida Marlins in town. Lance Berkman coming off that 2-day rehab assignment with the AAA club down in Round Rock. All systems are go. He was telling me before BP that his knee still bothers him a little bit, especially when he shuffles off the base at first base when he's holding a runner. But going straight ahead, it feels fine and good enough to go. Had good swings down there in AAA. Had a little fun during BP, and that's the other thing we missed about Lance. His sense of humor, and certainly when the team was going bad, he was missed because of that. Here are the numbers, and they're glittering. Lifetime .299 average, 313 times he's gone deep. But the number that jumps out at me most is that bottom one, 412 on base percentage, because this is a club that doesn't see a lot of pitches, doesn't draw a lot of walks. Lance Berkman, the one guy that does.
And he's batting third tonight, as it's Chris Volstad going for Florida against Lance Berkman and the Astros, who might be starting to get some other hitters hot as well. The Astros have Brett Myers ready to take them out in just a moment. Brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers and the 2010 F-150. By Jack in the Box. By the Progressive Insurance Group. And by Southwest Airlines. Beautiful evening outside here near Texas Avenue, where Minute Maid Park is in its 10th year, and it's Florida and Houston. And the Florida Marlins, 1/2 game out of the lead in the NL East, come in to face the Astros, who are 5.5 behind in the NL Central. Here's the Marlins batting order. Cameron Maybin leads it off, and he's hitting .309 playing center field. It's Chris Coghlan in left field. Then last year's batting champion Hanley Ramirez is the shortstop batting third. Jorge Cantu has put together a 13-game hitting streak in the first 13 games. He's the first baseman with Dan Uggla at second base. The catcher's John Baker with Cody Ross in right field, Wes Helms at third base, and Chris Volstad the pitcher.
Our starting pitcher is brought to you by Suzuki. It is Brett Myers. Brett has struggled in his career against the Marlins, just 6-11 with a high ERA, and well, there's a couple of reasons why. Dan Uggla and Hanley Ramirez, outstanding numbers. Ramirez hitting .357 against him. Uggla .378 with 5 jacks.
Well, the 11 losses to Florida are a major league high for Brett Myers against any club. He needs 4 strikeouts to reach the 1,000 mark in strikeouts for his career. Maybin, leading it off at .309, has a homer. He's driven in 3, and he has scored 13 runs. That's 4th in the National League. There's strike one with Dana DeMuth working home plate tonight. And Brett Myers goes for his first win as an Astro, the 29-year-old veteran who came from the Phillies as a free agent.
Really threw the ball well last time out against the Cardinals. Got a loss. Allowed 2 runs, just 1 was earned there. The numbers: 4 hits, walked 2, 7 strikeouts. Had an outstanding curveball going in that game.
Breaks one off as Maybin goes to a 1-2 count. Well, Brett Myers makes his 3rd start with the Astros. He's pitched 13 innings in the first 2 games. Walked 3 and fanned 10. That went a little bit up, and Maybin taps it foul. The Marlins are 4th in the league in runs scored with 68. They have lost the first game of each series, but then they've come roaring back, and they have not lost a series yet this year, winning 3 and splitting a 4-game series. Well, they were fabulous last year at the beginning, going 11-1 to start the season. Maybin has led off for 4 games. Chris Coghlan was a leadoff man much of last year after he took over in the lineup, and things weren't going well for him. He's hitting .109, so Maybin's had his shot, and the Marlins like what they see with him as the number 1 guy in their lineup. He didn't chase there. The appeal went to first base. No swing, and it's 2-2 to Cameron Maybin, one of the linchpins in that Detroit trade.
Thought about offering at that slider, able to check. Freddie Gonzalez will be pleased with the approach in this at-bat by the youngster.
And Freddie, before the game, was pleased with a lot of things about the youngster. Said he's much improved defensively. He's been working with Dave Collins, the first base and outfield and base running coach, and he's getting better jumps on his stolen bases and better jumps in the outfield. Freddie in his 4th year, .250 and .248.
He's gotten better each year that he's been leading this Marlin club.
Little tap, and that goes foul.
Speculation that Freddie Gonzalez might take over for Bobby Cox in Atlanta.
Yep.
Coxie finishes up at the end of this year.
Freddie had his time with the Braves as a coach for them. Solid major league manager. He's going to have breakfast tomorrow with Jeff Van Gundy, he said. And he got a text from Stan Van Gundy right before the Miami Heat playoff game. Stan had been watching the Florida Marlins game. Maybin is 5 for 6 in his career against Houston. And fouls that one away.
Exactly what you want to see from a leadoff guy. Work the count. Give everybody in that dugout a look to see what the pitcher has. Ultimately, he wants to get on base, but even if he doesn't, he's had a pretty good at-bat here.
Florida won 87 last year and lost 75. This will be the 10th pitch of the game for Myers. That was their 3rd highest win total in club history as Freddie Gonzalez club finished 6 games out of first. Line to left center field. What an excellent at bat for Maybin leading off the game. Takes the big turn. He has those long strides. And Freddie Gonzalez compares Maben favorably to Willie Taveras. Said he has similar qualities, but more power.
Well, I think they expect him to hit a whole lot better than Willie Taveras, too.
He's a threat to run. He's 3 for 3 in stolen bases. Maben measures his lead with the lefty hitting Coghlan stepping up. 109 average, 1 run batted in for Coghlan. Last year's Rookie of the Year in the National League. And he loops one over shortstop. That dunks into center field in front of Michael Bourne. And the Marlins have the first 2 base runners on.
And I don't mean to disrespect Willie Taveras, but if Cameron Maben turns out to be another Willie Taveras, then I don't think the Marlins are going to be all that pleased with that trade. Well, here's how the Astros set up defensively. Lee, Bourne, and Pence in the outfield. Hey, there's a new face over there at first base. I recognize that guy. And JR does the catching. Manziel and Keppinger and the Lees round out the infield with the big Puma.
Now the man who won the batting title last year in the National League, Hanley Ramirez, hit 342. He's at 333 right now with a homer and 5 runs batted in. And that one goes to left field. A hit in front of Carlos Lee. Maven's coming home. The throw goes toward the plate. Not in time. 1-0 Florida on 3 straight hits. Ramirez gets his 6th run batted in. It was down toward the end of the bat, but Ramirez, a .425 lifetime hitter against Houston, got the run home.
Yeah, first pitch breaking ball up a little bit. And this is what happened with Brett in his first start here. Gave up a lot of hits on his breaking pitch. It was really good in St. Louis. This one is up, and Ramirez takes advantage of it. Maben either a real good read or real lucky, because he was off and flying. If Carlos catches that ball, he's doubled off.
Jorge Cantu has had a marvelous start. There's ball 1 way outside. He leads the league in runs batted in with 16 to go with a .288 average. 3 bombs for Cantu. 13 game hitting streak right out of the chute for a man who drove in 100 last year. He has Coghlan at second, Ramirez at first, and nobody out.
Triple plays in order.
Wouldn't that go well with that guy? Brad Mills would love to see something big happen defensively here. Cantu has been preventing that.
Brad would settle for 2 here.
Myers cleans off his cleats. Cantu opened the season with at least 1 hit and 1 RBI in each of the first 10 games. That's a new major league record to start the season. It's 1-1. Myers has 73 major league wins, 64 losses, a 4.39 ERA. Brett's last start, there was an error in that first inning, and the Cardinals got a couple of runs. Spins that one away from Cantu, and the count goes to 1-2.
It's a pretty good approach. Drop one in the zone for a called strike, and then come off the plate down the way with another breaking ball and get the swing.
Brett, after giving up 2 runs in the first, then gave up no more for the next 6 innings. That's a fair ball. Heads for the left field corner. Kicks back toward center field. Coghlan around third to score to make it 2-0 on an RBI single by Cantu, giving him a 14-game hitting streak, and Florida leads 2-0. 17 runs batted in for the league leader. Marlins have jumped all over Myers.
One more time back with the breaking ball, so he showed him 3 in a row, and that was a bit of a hanger on the inside part of the plate. I thought maybe they'd go hard in with a fastball after those back-to-back curveballs. Hey, that would have been our triple play ball.
Yeah.
We were guarding the line there.
Now the powerful bat of Dan Uggla has to be dealt with. Uggla looks at ball 1. Dan, a .346 hitter in the early going. 3 homers, 9 runs batted in. A gaudy .982 OPS. Dan's 30 years old. He's already reached the number 4 spot in Marlins home runs. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. Past Gary Sheffield to take over sole possession of fourth on the Marlins all-time home run list. Next up for him is Derek Lee, who has 6 more.
Has been swinging it well lately. 3 out of 4 yesterday with a double and a home run.
That one's fouled, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. John Baker on deck. Marlins won 2 of 3 at Philadelphia, where they've really played well the last few years. They have not lost a road series since August of last year in Atlanta. Fouled away, and last year they wound up 44-37 on the road.
Yeah, because on the road they get to play in front of some crowds.
Yeah.
At home, it's just a miserable environment. They probably feel like they're home tonight because we don't have many in the ballpark tonight.
Freddie Gonzalez's club was 4-3 against the Astros last year.
They're finally getting their new ballpark, though.
Yeah.
That'll help.
2012. We were hearing about it tonight. Apparently it's about 1/3 completed now. There's ball 2. It'll have a retractable roof similar to this one. Beautiful views of the Miami skyline. And if any team needed a retractable roof, it's the Marlins. Uggla's down on strikes. That's the elusive out number 1 for Myers. After 4 straight singles, he gets an out.
Staying with that breaking ball, curveballs and sliders. That's a perfectly placed slider.
Now John Baker, the catcher at 324 with 6 runs batted in. A waiver claim by Florida from Oakland in December of 2005. Baker's a 343 hitter against the Astros for his career. This is his 3rd year with the Fish. Freddie Gonzalez said, well, there's this perception that we turn over our team every year. Not true. And strike 1.
They only turn it over after they win a World Series.
Yeah. That's true. In '97 it happened, and in 2003 it happened after those World Series years. But he said, we've had a lot of these players for 4 years or so. Baker's been platooning with Ronnie Paulino. Smacks that one foul past Dave Collins. 0-2. The 2 catchers combined last year to hit .276 with 17 homers, 77 runs batted in.
Pretty good production from behind the plate. It's a predominantly right-handed lineup for the Florida Marlins. And Baker and Coughlin the only lefties, and there's one on the bench, Mike Lamb, our old buddy Mike Lamb.
Mm-hmm. Lefty hitters are hitting .353 against Myers in the early going this season. Foul ball keeps the count at 0-2 with Cody Ross on deck. Baker's hit safely in 7 of his 9 starts.
Well, you come out of that bullpen and you're hoping for a nice quick 1-2-3 inning to kind of settle in, and it's been anything but for Brett Myers. 4 straight hits. He's thrown 25 pitches already this inning. 20 of them in the strike zone, though. I mean, he's throwing strikes. It's not like he's walking people and working from behind.
Fly ball to left center. Carlos Lee moving back. 2 outs. It's Cody Ross next. Myers' first start as an Astro was here against the Giants. He gave up 12 hits, 4 runs in 6 innings. Got a no decision. And then he lost that tough 2-1 game JD referred to, giving up just 1 earned run in 7 innings to Brad Penny in St. Louis. Now he tries to get Cody Ross, who's played a lot of center field, now the right fielder. 283, 1 homer, 8 runs batted in. So Marlins are very happy with their coverage in the outfield with Maven and Ross alongside each other. Ross looks at ball 1. Brad Mills' club falling behind early 2-0. Strike makes it 1-1 with Wes Helms on deck. Ross had a 4-hit game at New York April 8th to tie his career high. Cody's from Portales, New Mexico. He was drafted by Detroit, then he was a Dodger and a Red before Florida got him in a trade in 06. 1-2. Myers is 1-1 in his career at Minute Maid Park.
Ross not happy with that call by home plate umpire Dana DeMuth, venting a little bit before he steps back in.
Fly ball, Michael Bourne. And the Marlins come out firing. Rat-tat-tat, 4 straight singles. They take a 2-0 lead. Michael Bourne leads off in center field. This is the 13th lineup in 13 games. With Jeff Keppinger at second base. Lance Berkman's in the lineup for the first time. He's at first with Carlos Lee in left field. Hunter Pence is in right field. Pedro Feliz at third base. J.R. Dole's the catcher. Tommy Manzella at shortstop. Brett Myers is the Houston pitcher.
Our Suzuki starting pitcher is a big Chris Volstad, 6 foot 8 inches tall. This is his 3rd year as a big leaguer, 16-18 lifetime. 1-0 in his career against the Astros. 16th pick overall in the 05 draft. Got a good sinking fastball, a good hard curve. Seen him once in 08, once last year. The game in 2008 was a dandy. 8 innings of 4-hit, 1-run baseball. Last year the Astros knocked him around a little bit.
Brad Arnsberg, Brett Myers. Volstad looked down at the mound after that second pitch he delivered. Now he's 3-0 here on Michael Bourne. He was walked 3 times. Now that game you talked about in 08 was against Roy Oswalt at Florida. Now it's 3-1. Volstad 1-1 this year. He threw 117 pitches in the win over the Reds. 6 2/3 innings, 3 runs. Leadoff walk for Michael Bourne. Volstad has 6 walks. This is his 14th inning. Last year he had 59 walks and 159 innings pitched.
Well, let's take a look at the Marlins defensively. Coughlin last year's Rookie of the Year in left. Maven center. Ross right. Infield of Helms and Ramirez. Ugla and Cantu. John Baker does the catching.
Jeff Keppinger on a 5-game hitting streak. Steps up. Takes strike 1 from Volstad. Keppinger checks in among the top 10. 371 batting average, 7th best in the National League. No homers, 5 runs batted in.
Well, you would think a 6'8" right-hander would be easy pickings for Michael Bourne down there to steal a base off of. In his career, base runners have been successful 75% of the time with Volstead on the mound.
He's going. Baker's throw is late. Stolen base for Bourne, number 2 of the season. The Marlins now have allowed 15 steals and 18 tries this year.
And so even when a 6'8" guy, even when he uses a slide step, he's going to be a little bit slower than most of the plate just to kind of get that big body all unwound and headed in the right direction.
Now Keppinger has that runner at second with nobody out. And backs away from ball 2. Keppinger is hitting .382 when he's been in the starting lineup. Bourne's walk was the Astros' 13th walk in their 13th game. It's 2-2.
Didn't have to be.
Looked like it dropped in, but for some, they would say it dropped in late and not into the top of the strike zone, probably. And such a struggle for the Astros, who are dead last in runs scored with 28 runs in 12 games. Flared up the right field line. Ross is there. Bourne attracted a throw. 1 out. And now the return of the big Puma, Lance Berkman. He's had just a few at-bats in 2 rehab games at AAA Round Rock. He enjoyed going back there with the folks in the Austin area, which he loves so much. Played there Saturday and Sunday, went 3 for 6 with 2 doubles, a homer, and drove in 3. And now he's in an RBI situation right out of the chute in his first plate appearance for the Astros in 2010. Lance had 80 runs batted in last year and 460 at-bats. Bourne takes off for third, and he steals it. Berkman taking ball 1 on the pitch.
Well, Keppinger not able to advance him, but the speed of Michael Bourne makes that a moot point. And kind of playing coy out there, standing flat-footed prior to the break. Figured out the big guy's got a lot on his mind having to deal with Berkman. I'm going to go ahead and take third. That's the daring of a base stealer you like to see, even with a left-handed batter up there where the catcher has an open lane to make that throw to third base. Bourne said, I don't care, I'm going.
Great time to steal third with 1 out in the inning. Third steal for Bourne, 2 in this inning. Now Berkman tries to get him home.
Trying to get Lance an easy RBI. Yes, a little lazy fly ball, ground ball, pretty much anywhere in the infield except for the mound, gets the run home.
2-1. Lance said he would like to have seen some left-handed pitching in those rehab games. That didn't happen, so he hasn't had many right-handed at-bats this year, even in spring training. But back to the more familiar left-handed side here. He taps it, and that'll get the run home. There's Cantu shoveling, and the out at first is out number 2. But it's 2-1 now as Berkman picks up his first RBI of 2010. Well, that steal of third was big for the Astros.
It's a great sequence there by Bourne, drawing the walk and working his way around the bases. We'll show you this Berkman at bat, pitch by pitch. There's a stolen base on a down and in fastball. Lance had a pretty good swing at that high heater, a little bit behind it, soft stuff down and away. And then how ironic, he comes back from injury, and the very first time he put the ball in play, it's a foot race to the bag.
Carlos Lee is looking for his first RBI of the year as well. Here's ball 1. He's had better swings, though, the last 2-3 games, despite the 104 batting average. No extra base hits. 2 balls, no strikes. And it would not be at all surprising to see Carlos Lee have a bust-out week here at home, because the signs have been there for him. Bouncer up the middle. Ramirez handles it for the third out. 1 run on no hits, and it's 2-1 Marlins. Wes Helms in the box, and he has had 9 at bats, but this is his first starting assignment of the season. The corner infielders have been very productive. Gabby Sanchez has played first base until tonight, and Cantu's played third. Now Cantu switching across the diamond, and Helms moving in at third, taking ball 1. He's made the most of those 9 at bats with 4 hits and 2 runs batted in for Helms. Line shot, left field corner. That takes 1 hop, hits the base of the wall. Helms digging for second, and he's in with a leadoff double, hit number 5 already for the Fish.
Well, Wes Helms in his second tour of duty with the Florida Marlins. He was there in 06, then left for Philadelphia. This is his 3rd year since coming back. He's always been a good, solid extra man, you know. Dangerous bat off the bench, a guy that can come in and play the corner infield spots for you.
Now the Astros are looking for a bunt from Volstad, who has 1 sacrifice, 1 hit, 1 RBI this year. With Berkman charging, it's upstairs, ball 1. Let's go to Patty Smith now. Patty.
All right, time for our progressive fans, plural of the game. We've got the Atascocita Grannies, who apparently love Lance Berkman. I know you guys are glad to have him back.
Yes, we're great. We just love Lance, and we love all our Astros, but we've always been a big fan of the Big Puma.
And I know you moved your seats. You always had Lance looking at your sign, and you were a little worried maybe you couldn't see your sign tonight.
Yes, because we've always been over by Pence and Lance. So anyway, we hope he's be able to see us over here.
All right. Well, we made sure all of Houston and the surrounding area just saw your sign, and for that, you are the progressive fans of the game. Thank you so much, and enjoy your bet.
And we love our Astros and my Astro buddies.
All right, guys.
And Lance took a look at third base on that bunt by Volstad. Helms, though, was closing in on the bag, so Lance threw high, and Keppinger did a nice job on his footwork to make the play at first from 3 to 4. The infield staying back at the middle.
I think Brett Myers thought Lance was going to try to make a play at third base, and he was standing upright when Lance turned to make that throw to first. Lance kind of had to throw it over him.
And with Helms at third, it's Maven who led off this game with a hit and scored a run. An RBI situation here. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. For the Marlins, this is the middle series of a 9-game road trip. They won 2 of 3 in Philadelphia. They They go to Colorado next. It's 1-2 to Cameron Maben. What a big trade that was, involving Maben coming from the Detroit Tigers. He is, as you say, a guy who carries with him a lot of expectations. He had been the 10th player drafted in the 05 draft by Detroit. And lefty pitcher Andrew Miller. Some other players traded for Cabrera and Dontrell Willis. 2-2. It's the type of trade the Marlins have made several times in their brief history.
They've been able to check on the slider. Again, for the most part, Brett has been working sliders, curveballs, and fastballs pretty much away from these right-handed hitters. I think he would be well served to start to come in a little bit.
3-2.
It's easier for a right-handed hitter to lay off. And that was a pretty good slider just off the corner there. But when you're throwing most of your pitches out there and the hitter sees it, it's easier to lay off of. You've been looking out there, you expect to see it out there, and there it is. You recognize the pitch a little bit better.
Got him. Strikeout number 2 on a tight breaking ball. 2 outs, and it's Coghlan batting.
Take that, Mr. Analyst Man. I'm staying out there again, and I'm going to punch him out.
Your point is well made, though. That's the 18th time Maben has whiffed. Coghlan punched a single to center field and scored in the first.
That's a veteran pitcher taking advantage of young hitter greed with that man on third base. Didn't want to take the walk, wanted to drive that run in.
In tight on Coghlan, ball 1. Coghlan from Palm Harbor, Florida, went to the University of Mississippi. He was a third baseman there, but the need was for a left fielder, and that's what he converted to last year in his Rookie of the Year season, hitting .321. It was a compensation pick after the first round in 06 by the Marlins. 24 years old. 2-0 to Coghlan. Bud Norris starts here tomorrow night against Josh Johnson at 7:05. Thursday night it's Felipe Paulino and Anibal Sanchez. Two balls, one strike. Colorado got 8 in the top of the third at Washington and leads 10-0 in the bottom of the fourth now. Troy Tulowitzki hit his first homer. Ryan Spilborgh's added his second. Two balls, two strikes to Coghlan. You know, the Marlins had a good record last year, 12 games over 500. They played below 500 against the teams in the Central Division, 18-21, but they have done some hitting already against Myers. This will be big if he can strand that runner at third this inning. But he can't. It's 3-1 Marlins on an RBI single to right by Coghlan. Coghlan's 2 for 2, and that's his second run batted in of the year.
And now he's got Hanley Ramirez to deal with. Best player in the National League not named Albert Pujols. This breaking pitch is up. He kind of gets in on him a little bit, but because it was up, he's able to serve it into right field. So Lance getting an early workout on that knee, isn't he?
Oh, you know it.
Sprint down the first baseline. Crashing on the bunt play, diving there to his right.
Ramirez had the RBI single in the first. That's strike one to him. Hanley, with that sensational year last year, is now a .316 career hitter. Myers has thrown 6 of 12 first pitch strikes. And Hanley's just 26. Number 2 in the MVP voting last year to Pujols. Coghlan's 2 for 2 in stolen bases. Ramirez, a large man for a shortstop. He's listed at 6'3", 225. It's 1-1 to Hanley Ramirez from the Dominican Republic. He signed with Boston in 2000, had a couple of at-bats with the Red Sox in 05, and then he was traded along with the man who's going to be pitching here in this series in game number 3, Sanchez. A couple of other young players in the Josh Beckett deal. Mike Lowell also going to Boston. 2 balls and a strike.
And back in 2007, Hanley Ramirez stole 51 bases with 29 jacks, 48 doubles. I mean, he is the complete package. Hasn't been running quite as much the last couple of seasons.
Runner going. Toll's throw is high on into center field. Coghlan gets up and heads for third base. Well, Coghlan gets his 3rd steal of the year. Then Tolles makes a throwing error, his first error. And Coghlan moves on at third base as the count reaches 3-1 on Ramirez.
And JR had some problems in spring training with high throws. He just doesn't quite get his feet set, tries to hurry the throw. You're better off just trying to stay true to your fundamentals, not rushing too much and putting the throw on the bag. If it's late, it's late. Try to be too quick and you can airmail it like that.
Tap back to the mound. And Myers ends the 2nd inning with the Marlins getting 1 run, 2 hits. There was an error and a man left. It's 3-1 Marlins.
Hunter Pence to lead off. Greg Lucas up in the press box. Wanted to remind you that tomorrow night we're going to be live chatting again, so you can get on through the FoxSportsHouston.com website. And later on, maybe as early as Thursday, but certainly during this homestand, we're not going to call it Email the Booth, but it'll be the same concept, and we'll be back doing that. Everything to be in contact with the fans for your questions and comments. But again, live chat returns tomorrow. We're tweeting tonight, so feel free. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Greg. Hunter Pence took strike 1. Now it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Hunter very positive before this game tonight about the team breaking out. And he said that he feels really good now. Little roller, stays fair. Baker will not make a throw. Volstad was right there at his feet. And there's an infield hit for Hunter Pence. A broken bat.
Yeah, he doesn't have many hits this year. But he's been able to scratch out a few because of his speed. And there's a great example there. A little check swing, shattered bat, and he gets a knock out of it. Volstad gets good run on his two-seam fastball, and that ball just got in on Hunter. Tried to check his swing, could not. It's a good thing he couldn't, because now he's aboard.
And what a big stolen base he had Sunday at Chicago in that 9th inning to score the tying run. Jeff Blum doubled him in. Pedro Feliz is the batter. That's strike one. Feliz with 5 runs batted in. Begins the night with a .222 batting average. He had the game-winning sacrifice fly in the 10th inning off Sean Marshall on Sunday, and the Astros 3-2 win. They scored single runs in the 8th, 9th, and 10th to win it 3-2. So that was very much a feel-good win, and this club has won now 3 of the last 4 games. Tonight, the first night of the 9-game homestand. And the Astros have 16 of the next 19 right here at Minute Maid Park. Their next road trip only 3 days to Atlanta. Foul back, and it's an 0-2 count to Pedro Feliz. Feliz hit .292 on that first homestand, but the Astros went 0-6. They had not had an 0-6 homestand since the 1983 season. J.R. Tolles is on deck. Fouled away. Volstad with that 6'8" frame can create a lot of leverage.
Pretty proud of his fastball right there, because he threw an 0-2 heater right there for Pedro. But, you know, some pitchers will say that's not a bad strategy to attack a hitter when he's in a defensive posture. No balls, 2 strikes.
That game you talked about in 08 for Volstad at Florida against Roy Oswalt. He gave up 1 run in 8 innings. Didn't walk anybody. He had 14 ground ball outs in that game.
Yeah, sinker just wasn't there for him very often last year.
They're going. There's a shovel to second. Safe. High throw to first. And the Astros now, with Hunter Pence breaking for third, are able to elude a double play. And the Marlins get no outs with Ramirez tossing to Ugla, not in time to get Pence, who was running on the pitch, and then Ugla airmailed that throw over Cantu.
Yeah, Ramirez just got a little greedy there with Pence moving with the pitch. He should have just taken the out at first base. I thought maybe they could still get 2 out of it. Hunter beat the rap at second base and forced Ugla into an errant throw. And kind of falling back on his heels when he tries to make that turn. Bad decisions all the way around in the middle of the diamond for the Fish.
Decision for Hunter to run was a good one for the Astros. It's a fielder's choice for Feliz, and an error on Ugla's throw, getting Pence to third. Now J.R. Tolles has runners at first and third, nobody out, but the Marlins again set up for a double play.
Ugla almost looked like he was just trying to throw a no-look pass there, or throw the ball out of bounds to kill the clock. I mean, I think he was surprised that Ramirez came in his direction.
Yeah.
Like a game of hot potato here. I don't want it. You take it.
Tolles with the big productive day on Saturday. Got to those numbers for the season. Then Quintero started the game Sunday, but JR ripped a home run in the 5th inning off Jeff Gray on Saturday, and then he also had an RBI single and another hit in that game, going 3 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. Dave Clark is a man on the move there, coaching third base. Fouled, and it's no balls, 2 strikes.
Volstad actually should be a pretty good matchup for some of these Astro right-handed hitters. Tolles and Pence come to mind. Right-handed guys who can turn on that middle-in fastball, and his 2-seamer, even when he tries to go away with it, if he's not real fine, that's going to run back to the middle or inside part of the plate.
Up the middle and into center field, 3-2 as Tolles gets the 2nd run home for the Astros with an RBI single, and Pence scores. Front batted in for Tolles.
Put the hands back nicely. That's a 2-strike curveball up in the strike zone. That's a big mistake by Volstad, and a good swing of the bat for JR.
Runners at first and second now with Tommy Manzella batting. And the pitcher on deck, Myers. 219 for Manzella with 2 runs batted in. Manzella looks at ball 1. Dave Clark gives signs with Myers on deck. Marlins now have committed 16 errors this year. They've allowed 7 unearned runs before this inning. In tight, and it's 2-0 to Manzella, who has not drawn a walk this season.
Randy St. Clair is the new pitching coach for the Florida Marlins. Long time with the Montreal Expos and then the Washington Nationals after that franchise move. Randy out there to have a chat with his young right-hander. Well, 2 ways to approach this if you're Brad Mills with Tommy Manzella. You can have him taking all the way here. The pitcher is struggling with his command a little bit. Or you can turn him loose. Hey, be aggressive here. Look at something. Go ahead. Try to yank one into the Crawford box. He's got the pitcher on deck. You got a 2-0 cripple count. Sell out on a fastball. If you don't get it, take it. But you get one, take a healthy rip at it. You did. Just didn't get it. I like the approach. I like the idea. He just able to get to it.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Volstad wasn't trying to be real cute with that fastball. Just challenged him. 92-mile-an-hour heater.
Manzella drove in 56 for Round Rock last year. He was their team MVP. Strike makes the count 2-2 now.
Sinker just catches the inside corner, bottom of the knees.
The Astros are 20-11 against the Marlins here at Minute Maid Park. Bouncer third, foul. Still 2-2 with Volstad having thrown 32 pitches, and Myers will be next. The Astros have won 10 of the last 13 games from the Marlins in this ballpark. Runner at second, Feliz, was drawing some attention there from Volstad. Ground ball again goes foul. Manzella hangs in at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tommy from Chalmette, Louisiana, went to Tulane University. He was a double major there in marketing and legal studies. Adam Everett spent 5 years in the minors, as Tommy has done, before becoming an excellent major league shortstop. At the end of the bat, stays in there at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Milwaukee's pounding Pittsburgh 8-0 in the middle of the 5th inning. Dave Bush on the hill for the Brewers. Corey Hart hit his second home run. Manzella pops it up. And it's caught by the right fielder, so no infield fly call because Ross came in and called off Ugla. And the umpires were waiting. And the fact that Ross came in to make the catch, so that's why the infield fly was not called.
Ugla lost the ball. See, he's kind of drifting over towards the line. He's got no clue where it is.
That's another reason the infield fly rule wasn't called. The umpire's not going to call it if the infielder can't find the ball up there. And he let his teammate know that he needed help, and Ross did help him out. Now Brett Myers, corner infielder's pitching in, looking for a bunt. Myers is 1 for 4, does not have a sacrifice yet. Bourne's on deck. The bunt goes back to the hill. Volstad looks at third, throws to first. Sacrifice, the first of the year for Myers. Runners at second and third for Michael Bourne with 2 outs.
This day in Astros history is brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, making cancer history. April 20th, 2005. Adam Everett, Craig Biggio go back-to-back to lead off the game. It's a 6-1 win for the Astros over the Milwaukee Brewers.
Speaking of 2005, the guy who hit the first Astro home run in a World Series is here from that year. Mike Lem back in town with the Florida Marlins. Now Michael Bourne batting, but there will be a conference with Baker going out to talk it over with Volstad. Bourne walked, stole second and third, came home on a ground out by Berkman.
So Michael Bourne doing his job as the leadoff man last time. This go around, it's a little different scenario. 2 outs. He's up there to drive in runs.
There's strike one. Astros are averaging 2.3 runs per game this year. Well, if he gets a hit here, that's a big night for them already.
Wow. By the average, be flying by it. And lately, they haven't needed a lot of runs. The pitching's been so good.
It has been good.
Myers' last time out was outstanding. Roy and Wandy pitched very well in that series with the Cubs. Bud Morris had a good one.
Left field line. Coghlan coming over, and he climbs up on top of that fence after making the catch. 1 run scores on 2 hits with an error and 2 men stranded for the Astros. It's a 1-run lead. Florida 3, Houston 2 through 2. Innings in his return to the lineup, JD.
Yeah, he has. Going to need right through his paces here in the early going. Good for an infield hit. He had to bust it down the line. He got an RBI out of it, and then crossing the diamond to field his bunt. And Coghlan's base hit. A little belly flop and a dive. So far, very active. No grimaces. No groans.
A lot of happiness at being back in the major leagues. There's ball 1 to Jorge Cantu, who had the RBI single in the first inning. That's certainly been the trend for this man. 17 runs already batted in and a .302 average. Myers really relying on the breaking stuff to right-handed batters. Ball's behind 2-0. Cantu, 28 years old. He signed with Tampa Bay in '98. Then he was traded to Cincinnati. Florida signed him as a free agent prior to last year, and he rewarded them with that 100 RBI season. He's from Reynosa, Mexico.
Oh.
It's 3-0. Cantu, over the last several off seasons, has worked his family's 8,600-acre cattle ranch. The McAllen, Texas area. Strike makes it 3-1 to Jorge Cantu.
Is this a ranch he acquired as a ball player, or something that's been in the family for a while?
It's been the family. Drive to left field. Carlos Lee backing, and on the warning track, he reaches up and snags it. A very welcome out for Brett Myers after falling behind 3-1 on one of the hot hitters in the league.
And that ball hit better than a lot of balls that fly out of here, but this one had top spin. He went down and got a slider. And looked like one of Jeff Bagwell's old drives. Top spin, kept it in the yard. El Caballo able to track it down.
One rancher retires another. There's strike one to Ugla. Ugla struck out in the first inning. Here at Minute Maid Park in Houston, it's Florida 3, Houston 2. Bill Brown, Jim DeShays, Greg Lucas, Patty Smith. Who else is here today? Kevin. Line drive caught by a diving Berkman. And that's out number 2. Kevin Eschenfelder's here to do pre and post, along with Dave Harbison. Who else is here?
Lance is here. Well, we had him diving to his right earlier. Now he goes to the line. Makes a fine play.
That's the big story tonight, the return of the Big Puma. He has really been moving around in this game.
And he said he was sore after those games in Round Rock, not just because of the knee, but just he hadn't seen game action in a while. It's a muscle soreness.
John Baker takes ball 1.
It's kind of like an extended spring training for him right now.
It's like he's getting a workout. Played 6 innings in that first rehab game on Saturday. Got 4 at bats on Sunday. Tap foul. 1 ball, 1 strike, so he hasn't even gone 9 yet. Probably going to feel like he played a doubleheader when he gets up tomorrow. 1 ball, 2 strikes to John Baker. He went to the University of California. Pokes that one foul. Baker stays alive at 1-2. Baker had a 349 on base average last year. Pretty tough out. He hit 271 last season. He's a 281 lifetime hitter in the big leagues.
Well, a pretty good changeup right there. The previous one was just a dandy. And he was way out in front of it. And Myers came back with another one, back to back with the changeup. And Baker able to hang back long enough to get a piece of that one.
2-2. Cody Ross on deck.
Neither of the pitchers has been able to post a 0 yet. Marlins 2 in the first, 1 in the second. The Astros singles in the first and second. I'm not sure how he caught it, but ultimately he caught it.
That was hit too hard to see.
A 3-line drive out inning. How about that?
There it is again. 3-2 Marlins.
I got it. He didn't even know he had it. There it is.
National League leaders, followed by Derek Jeter and Pablo Sandoval. Now, as nightfall will be coming soon, it's 3-2. The Marlins and the Astros hooking up in some early runs. The Marlins got 2 in the first, 1 in the second. The Astros got a run in the first without benefit of a hit, and then another run in the second inning on the single by J.R. Tolles. Fans looking down on Jeff Keppinger now, who leads it off in the third, to be followed by Berkman and Lee. So Keppinger is trying to be a table setter here. Strike one to Jeff. He worked the count to 2-2, then hit a fly ball to right field in the first inning. Tap foul, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Volstad was the number 4 starter to open the season. Josh Johnson, number 1. Ricky Nolasco, who's really looked good, number 2. Nate Robertson, the lefty, who came from Detroit, was in the 3 spot. And it was Robertson who shut out the Phillies for 6 1/3 innings Sunday, collaborating on a 2-0 win with the relievers.
And the Phillies managed 1 against them on Saturday. Holding that club down. Pretty darn impressive.
You know it. Up the middle, and Volstad makes a play on his own behalf, just as Myers did, 1 out. Now Berkman. Now Lance had a similar situation coming off knee surgery in that 05 season. Season shortened by almost a month. Came off the DL on May 6th. Fox Tracks is brought to you by Gexa Energy. As Lance comes up here for the second time, he is grounded out from 3-1, getting his first RBI of the season back in the first inning. Gets a hook, and there's strike 1 to Lance. In that 05 season, Lance did his rehab at Round Rock, just as he did this year. He hit .293 with 24 homers. It's 1-1.
Gexa Energy has it at 2-0. Like Dana DeMuth and Gexa are not simpatico here.
2 balls and a strike to Lance. Lance's big year of 06 followed that shortened season of 05. He had 45 bombs in 06. Line shot left to a corner, and once again he'll have to run hard. Coming out of the box, he's in a sprint for second base. And there's a double for Berkman, his first hit of 2010.
And an extra base hit, something the Astros have not had many of. We showed you on Fox Tracks there how they were working him away. This time Volstad elevates, tries to keep it on the outer third, but it's up a little bit. Breaking stride a little bit there between first and second. Looks good running.
Carlos Lee puts the ball 1 upstairs. 1-0 to Lee, who grounded out to shortstop in the first on a 2-0 pitch. The Astros have been taking that first pitch from Volstad, except for Myers, who put down a bunt. He's at 48 pitches for the night. 1-1. The move to get Lance Berkman onto the 25-man roster was to put Chris Johnson on the disabled list tonight. The right intercostal strain.
Yeah, it happened in St. Louis. Aggravated again over the weekend in Chicago. I think Friday, and it's kind of towards the back. It's kind of in the back on the right side.
Sean Berry hoping Carlos can tie this.
Sean just got a lot smarter, didn't he, with Lance rejoining the club?
Sean picked up a lot of runs per game. Fly ball to right center. Ross is calling. 2 outs. And it's Hunter Pence with the 2-out RBI opportunity here. He hit a little check swing dribbler in front of home plate and beat it out for an infield hit. Coming around to score in the second inning.
2 reasons why Lance didn't tag up and try to advance there. 1, that catch became the second out. You don't want to make the third out at third base, so it's not a high percentage play. 2, I think he's out of gas. He's just trying to save his energy here.
Yeah.
But that was the right play, not to try to go there.
Ross has a good arm. Hunter Pence with 2 runs batted in. Going with the very closely shorn locks now. There's strike 1.
Trying to change things up.
One of his teammates asked him when he got out of prison. Clubhouse humor could be pretty rough.
Boot camp.
He said he broke out. Well, if he breaks out with a bat, Prince fans are going to love this homestand. There are many of them. That pitch in tight, apparently. 1 ball, 1 strike for Hunter. Going back to the last couple of games last year, the Astros have hit double digits in hits only once in their last 15 games. Tapped the shortstop, and Ramirez takes care of the 3rd out. It's no runs a hit and a man stranded after 3-2 Marlins.
Thursday against the Marlins at 7:05. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Play Green recycled material cap courtesy of Waste Management. Check out the Play Green Expo in Conoco Alley prior to the game and learn how to save money and play green. To buy tickets, visit astros.com/playgreen today, guys.
Well, Patty's going to be emceeing an affair that morning for Play Green for Earth Day. Cody Ross with a big cut. There's strike 1, and that's a big part of the day for you, Patty. You all set for that one?
I am all set. I will have my green cap on. I'll be out there with bells on, and I'll be working the game that night as well.
Ooh, long day for Patty.
But I'm dragging JD with me.
I'm going to play green.
Forster Elementary.
Pardon?
Forster Elementary.
Yep, you're going to be there too, right?
I'm going to try to be there, yes. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. And Jeff Blum will be there. So we have all kinds of dignitaries. At that same time across town, the Astros are going to be dedicating another baseball field. And so that's going to be a very busy day. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That'll be the final game of this 3-game series. It's 2-2. Brett Myers has thrown 67 pitches.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic. He probably got hit harder in the last inning than he did in the previous 2, but he got 3 up, 3 down.
Ground ball 3rd. Pedro Feliz AT&T sponsors some trivia now. Who is the Astros' all-time single season triples leader? Single season. Well, Cheo Cruz is the all-time triples leader for career. But we're talking about one season.
Greg Reynolds used to hit a lot of triples.
That's what I was going to guess. Boods likes Roger Metzger. Wes Helms doubled and scored earlier. There's strike one. Craig hit 2 in 1 inning, didn't he, one time? Yeah, he hit a lot of triples. Volstad is on deck.
I think of the speed guys. Both Cedeno, CC would be a candidate.
Yeah.
Gerald Young.
Eric Yelding.
Steve Finley.
Yeah. Phil Boudreau, a speedy guy. He hit a lot of triples. No, he's looking over here like, what are you talking about, you idiot? I'm a doubles guy. 2 balls and a strike to Wes Helms. Well, haven't been as many triples in this ballpark as there were in the Astrodome. We venture a guess on that in terms of per year production.
More here in this park and some of the current major league parks because of the big center field, but the carpet and the dome itself. You would see triples in the Astrodome that the shortstop would dive for the ball and just miss it, and it would go all the way to the wall, shoot through the gap.
Yes, it would.
The carpet was so slick.
Poked out to shallow right field, and Hunter Pence is there. 2 outs. Okay, single season triples leader for the Houston Astros. Was it Craig Reynolds? We're staying with Craig. It was Roger Metzger. Wow. 14, 1973. So there, Phil Boudreau. Congratulations, Boods. You will win
Roger Metzger bobblehead.
Okay. Chris Volstad to strike one. He put down a sac bunt earlier, and that got Helms to third base, and he scored then on a Coghlan single. Roger Metzger's nickname was the Trout. Gobbled up everything. One ball.
The turkey then.
Yeah, that could have worked too. That's hit hard, Manzella. Good play. And that's 7 in a row. Myers has given up some hard hit shots, but he's getting outs. The Marlins lead at 3-2.
Six home games you want to attend, and the seat locations planned starting at only $42, You can also check out the all-you-can-eat plan, Hunter's Lodge, Division Rivals, Price Matters, all kinds of 6-game plans available. For information and tickets, try Astros.com. Teams with blue jerseys plan.
Did you read Ken Hoffman's column today in the Chronicle?
I did.
He's right on top of all the food choices here.
Yeah.
And there are many. 3-2 Marlins. The Astros bat in the home 4th inning. Feliz, Tolles, Manzella due up. Pedro reached on that play at second base. Hunter Pence was safe, and then the throw was high from Ugla. So Feliz reached on that play, and there's ball 1 as he bats for the second time. Toronto leads Kansas City 4-3 after 7 with Dana Evelyn starting and now out of the game. Blue Jays. Broken bat, Looper. Maben really covered the ground.
Yeah, he's a rangy, speedy center fielder. Got a nice jump there. Big long legs. Closes in a hurry.
That looked like a hit off the bat. Yes, he did close on it. 1 out. J.R. Tolles got run number 2 home with a single up the middle.
Probably be a good cornerback.
Yeah.
Cover those speedy receivers.
You know it. Ball 1 to Tolles. Manzella's on deck.
Hey, today's the anniversary of Paul Revere's Midnight Ride.
Okay.
The start of it. And in Boston, they're screaming, "The Rangers are coming! The Rangers are coming!" 9 stolen bases in the first 5 innings against the Red Sox tonight.
Ooh. Well, that's been a big problem for them. Tampa Bay ran wild on the Red Sox in sweeping that 4-game series in Boston. And the Red Sox coming into that game tonight 0 for their last 32 with men in scoring position. Fly ball to right. Ross. 2 outs. And do you realize that the Astros are a half game closer to first in their division than the Red Sox in their division?
I do now.
There's a lot of talk about that club, but Terry Francona has said it's still early in the season. We just need to let guys go out there and play. 2 outs, and it's Manzella who flied to right in the second. There's ball 1. There were a lot of stories about the Red Sox this winter improving their club defensively. And yet they have a lot of guys who are not hitting right now. That's on 1 hop. Didn't get over Wes Helms, and that's a 1, 2, 3, 4 for Volstad. Marlins lead 3-2.
Pirates at 6:05. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Jose Cruz bobblehead courtesy of AT&T, and 100 of the bobbleheads will be signed by Cheo himself. Also for Saturday, outfield deck tickets are only $5. Purchased tonight at Astros.com. And I am up here in the booth with the man himself, Jose Cheo Cruz. What do you think about this bobblehead?
That's beautiful. I hope that people get a chance to come out on Saturday and get the bobblehead. It looks pretty good, just like me. And I want everybody to come Saturday.
It is an awesome bobblehead, I have to say. It looks great, and what I really like about it is the commercial. You know, the guys get Cruz, and you look like you had a lot of fun with it yourself.
Oh, yeah, they surprised me, and I really, really enjoy doing that.
You said those guys are crazy.
They are crazy.
And talk about what you're doing up here. You said you came in here to do a little radio, and they won't let you leave.
Every series I come here, they come in anything, I come out and be with Alex San Francisco and talk about the Astros.
All right. Well, we hope to see everybody out here.
Great.
Yeah?
Yes.
Maybe a future here?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but I just like to do something.
All right. Well, you're doing a great job, and we love the bobblehead. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
That was an excellent play in the hole by Tommy Manzella on the fleet-footed Cameron Maben. Boy, he had to do everything perfectly to get Maben.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about Maben's speed, and Tommy Manzella up to the challenge here. That's a sweet play. Moving to his right, momentum taking him towards third base, still able to make that good strong throw across his body. And a couple plays in this game.
He's very deep as Coughlin comes up. Coughlin 2 for 2 with a run scored and a run driven in. And it's ball one. Well, a play like that from Myers allows him to settle in a little bit, keeps a speedy runner off base, and gets that first out in the inning. That's 8 straight retired with Myers on the mound in a 1-run game. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Well, the Astros certainly hope that's the trend this year. Better defensive play and support for their pitching staff and better pitching. Tapper goes back to Myers. 2 outs. The hitters are talking about they're very encouraged despite this 3-9 start about the way the pitchers have done. 82 pitches into the game for Myers. He has 2 quick outs, and it's Ramirez coming up. Ramirez 1 for 2 with an RBI.
And Myers survived that barrage early. And post a couple more zeros, end up with a solid outing here tonight.
He's due to lead off the bottom of the 5th. There's some stirring in the Astros bullpen. Nobody throwing at the moment. Both these clubs had a day off yesterday. There's strike 1 to Ramirez. Mike Pelfrey started for the Mets, went 7 shutout innings against the Cubs and left with a 2-0 lead. It's still 2-0 Mets after 7. Broken bat. And Myers once again gets a comebacker. Turns it into a 1-2-3 5th. 10 straight outs for Myers. 3-2 Marlins. Marlins leading it across town. The aquarium looks busy. And right here, things were busy early. The Marlins getting 2 in the first, 1 in the second. The Astros single runs in the first and second. Now both pitchers are settling in. And Brett Myers leads it off in the home 5th inning. Chris Volstad delivers strike 1. Myers put down a sac bunt in the second inning.
Getting to the bottom of this Rangers stolen base night, and Wakefield is pitching for Boston tonight, the knuckleballer, so that makes makes a little more sense.
Yeah. It's a 1-2 count. Cincinnati dropped a 6th spot on the Dodgers in Cincinnati. It's 9-5. That was the second inning, and 9-5 now through 6. The Reds lead it. Strikeout for Volstad, number 1. The Reds will be here next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights. Michael Bourne drew a leadoff walk in the home first, stole second, stole third, came home on a Lance Berkman ground out. Then in the second, he made a bid to drive in 2 runs with a fly ball just inside the left field line. Chris Coughlin made a good catch. As he shortens up, he looks at a strike. Pittsburgh Pirates are here over the weekend on this 9-game homestand for the Astros. Bouncer to first. Backhanded Cantu. 2 outs.
Pirates, some intriguing young players. Andrew McCutcheon, of course. Young center fielder, looks like he's going to be a star. It's a tough play here by Cantu. That's not an easy hop. Didn't have time to get his body in front of it. Just had to trust his hands.
Now the Pirates are 7-5. They're in second place to the Cardinals 9-4. Cappinger's 0 for 2, looking at ball 1. Fly ball to right, a ground ball back to the pitcher for Jeff. Jeff's a .358 career hitter against the Marlins. The Reds have homers tonight from Brandon Phillips, his second, and Joey Votto, also number 2 in that game with the Dodgers. Homer Bailey started for Cincinnati. Fly ball, Cameron Maben. In the 5th, it goes quickly for Volstad. He has set down 8 straight. Myers has retired 10 in a row, and through 5, it's 3-2 Fish. Freeze cam. Here's a freeze on Brett Myers. He gets a comebacker. A line drive comebacker. He blows that one from John Baker in the 3rd inning. Hot one right on him. The Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by the Frost Brew at Coors Light. And now, as a part of that 3rd inning, Baker was the 3rd man retired there. It's a part of the 10 straight outs for Myers up to this point, with Jorge Cantu leading it off in the 6th. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI. And there's strike one. So Myers, after giving up hits to the first 4 batters in the game, 2 runs in the first, and then another run on 2 more hits in the second, has settled down and been mowing down fish since then. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, the way the game started, it looked like it was going to take 10 runs to win it. But the pitchers have regained control, and I think the key for Brett is he started to throw more fastball. I think he's living, not exclusively, but throwing a high percentage of breaking pitches. I think he's kind of come off the breaking pitch a little bit, mixing in a few more fastballs. There's a breakdown there. 64 pitches, just 20% fastballs. Really, really unusual.
Yes, it is. High drive to left field. That will get up into the seats of the Landry's Crawford boxes. And Jorge Cantu has hit his 4th long ball of the season, giving him 18 runs batted in now and a 4-2 Marlins lead.
Cantu, well, he is dialed in here early in 2010. 3 at-bats tonight, 3 good swings, single line out, and now a home run. And last time he hit that line drive with topspin that Carlos was able to track down in front of the wall. This time he centers it up and drives it out of here.
Bangs it around out there at the back of the Crawford boxes. Dan Uggla comes up. Broken bat. Berkman catches the liner for the 2nd straight time. Uggla lining to Berkman. John Baker lined back to Myers after a fly ball to left.
This one off the end of the bat. Doesn't have a lot of steam on it. Pretty easy play for Lance.
Myers has thrown 89 pitches. Kyle Kendrick of the Phillies has dazzled Atlanta 3-0 Phillies after 7. Strike to Baker. The Astros have been out homered for the season now, 10-3. Phillies are 8-4. The Braves are 7-5. Tommy Hanson started for them. He lasted 4 2/3 tonight. Foul ball. Balls, 2 strikes.
Perhaps the biggest news today is Joe Madden's going to be able to continue to wear his hoodie.
They reversed it.
They banned his hoodie. MLB did, and then they reversed it. They reversed the ban.
Really?
Joe can now wear his hooded sweatshirt.
Well, with warm weather coming, not sure how many more games he's going to want to do that anyway. It's nice that he has the option. They might have figured out that they could actually market that.
Sure. Wow. Yeah. Very popular with the younger set. Joe's a trendsetter with the glasses and the whole deal. You don't want to get in the way of that.
No.
Let these guys be. That's personality. Be outside the box a little bit. Somebody had to go get Connie Mack and put a suit and a fedora on down there.
Okay. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Millsy would look good. Put him in a pinstripe suit. Managing
good
down there.
Yeah. NFL coaches have gotten away from that now.
Yeah, but they don't wear a uniform. I think it'd be great in the NBA if the coaches had to wear a uniform. So Phil Jackson out there in a tank top, some baggy shorts.
Top foul by Baker. Still a 1 ball, 2 strike count. St. Louis is in Arizona tonight. Pleasant night outside in Houston.
They're getting ready to sling T-shirts.
One hopper knocked down. Feliz scrambles for it, has no throw on a bullet, and it's ruled a hit for Baker.
Baker looks to me like he's trying to go that way. Certainly in that at-bat he did.
Like it took a wicked hop there on Pedro. Hit number 8 for the Marlins. Cody Ross is 0 for 2. Fly ball to center and a ground out. He jumps back from strike 1. Myers nearing 100 pitches. He's thrown 96. Toronto down Kansas City 4-3. Kevin Gregg got his 4th save. Vernon Wells hit home run number 7 for the Blue Jays. They're off to a good start, 9-6. Keppinger with the flip. And Zella over the top. Good, quick, hard flip by Keppinger. And then that made it 4-6-3. 1 run, 2 hits, nobody left. Middle of the 6th inning, 4-2 Florida.
Spotlight Drayton McClain. It's kind of an in-depth look at Drayton and his 5 priorities in life. He talks in depth about his thoughts, plans, desires to ever sell the team. We talk with his wife Elizabeth, his kids. It's a pretty interesting side of Drayton McClain Jr. that is not often seen. Something you don't want to miss, guys.
Thanks, Patty. Bottom of the 6th inning here. It's 4-2 Florida as Drayton watches. Along with Pam Gardner. It's Lance Berkman back in the box. He hit a ground ball to the right side, scoring Michael Bourne in the 1st, and then double to left in the 3rd. Strike 1 with Lee and Pence to follow in the Astros 6th. Carl Crawford is homer for Tampa Bay. 1 hopper. Cantu stays with it. 1 out. That's 9 straight, retired by Volstad and friends.
Yeah, good swing there by Lance. Hit that ball hard. Hop almost came up and got Cantu in the chops. A sternum shot of them.
Yeah.
So his timing in the batter's box looks pretty good.
It does. Carlos Lee takes ball 1. He's 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly ball.
Talking about Lance, he was talking about his days in Round Rock, and he said, I'm sitting the ball hard in yesterday, especially, or Sunday. But he wasn't facing real hard throwers in either games. And one guy was topping out at 84, and the other guy at 87.
Fly ball right field. Carlos Lee loops 1 in, and it gets by Cody Ross, goes to the wall. Lee with extra bases, checks in with a double, his first extra base hit of the season.
Good swing. It's that front side down and explodes, extends through that ball. It's over the outer third. Now Caballo is off and running.
Took it 51 at bats to get that first extra base hit. Now he's in scoring position for Hunter Pence. Here's 1 for 2. Feliz on deck. That's hit number 4 for Houston. And ball 1 to Hunter. David Price on the mound for Tampa Bay. 2-1 White Sox over Tampa Bay after 5 in Chicago against John Danks. Lee hopes he just started a nice rally here for Houston. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Volstad is nearing 80 pitches for the night.
He's got a decision to make right here. How aggressive he wants to be with Hunter.
Those are the numbers on Chris, who is 16 and 18 for his major league career. Now 3-0.
That's a pitch. If Hunter's behind in the count, quite often he'll expand and chase. 2 ball, no strikes. Looking fastball and able to just lay off that slider. That's what I was talking about, how aggressive he wanted to be. Whether he was going to challenge with a heater 2-0 there or not. Came in on 3-0 and probably off the plate.
3-1. He got in on the hands of Hunter. Freddie Gonzalez starting pitchers have won 5 and lost 3 with a 3.99 ERA. And they've had 5 games in a row in which the starter has worked at least 6 innings. The bullpen well rested after the day off. And Hunter draws a walk. That's his first walk of the year. Second walk of the night for Volstad.
The only pitch he threw him in the strike zone was called the ball. It was that breaking pitch. According to Fox Tracks, that had the corner. Did not want to challenge with his fastball, and somewhat tentative, I would think, for Randy St. Clair, the pitching coach. Probably not happy that it was that tentative with a 2-run lead here in the 6th inning.
The Astros' high for walks in a game this season is 3. They've drawn 2, and it's Feliz next.
What happens with a starting pitcher? You have to pitch 5 innings to qualify for the win. But once you get through 5, you have the lead. I think a lot of guys start to think in terms of protecting their lead. The pitcher of record have a chance to get a W, and certainly you can understand that thinking. But normally that's 7th inning and beyond. 6th inning, I think you still want to be pretty aggressive.
Pedro Feliz is 0 for 2. Maben is in right center. In the air to left center. Ramirez looks out to the outfielders, and Coughlin takes over. 2 outs. J.R. Tolles coming up. Tomorrow night, it's Josh Johnson and Bud Norris, 6:30 p.m. for Astros Live. There's Chris Johnson. We talked about him earlier. He just went on the disabled list with a right intercostal strain. That was backdated to Sunday, so he'll have to spend 15 days on the DL before he can play again in a major league game. And the other choice was to send him to minor leagues, but Chris said, I can't swing the bat right now. And they told me, if you can't play, then you're going to have to go on the DL rather than to the minor leagues to make room for Lance Berkman. J.R. Tolles 1 for 2, an RBI single first time. Strike 1 to Tolles. Chris can do the other things, and he'll just try to stay in the best shape he can until he's cleared to swing the bat again.
He was the catcher for the first pitch ceremony tonight.
Was he?
Yeah, contributed in that small way.
Okay.
Whatever, have to do your little piece to help out.
Yeah.
Boy, tomorrow Josh Johnson, he's got some of the best stuff in the league. They run out some big righties at you. This kid's 6'8", Johnson 6'7".
It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Tim Wood, the right-hander, and Pinto, the lefty, were at work in the bullpen there for the Marlins. Their closer is Leo Nunez. Chris Sampson is throwing for Houston. Close one, goes for ball 2 to J.R. Tolles. Tommy Manziel's on deck with Sampson getting ready. The pitcher spot comes up second in the 7th for Florida. Line in is center field. Carlos Lee's coming home. Pence stops at second. It's a 1-run game. RBI single Tolles, his second run batted in of the night. 4-3 Marlins.
JR's got to be feeling good about things. Had that big day in Chicago. Now back in there tonight. 2 knocks. 2 driven in.
Both his hits have gone up the middle. Now Corey Sullivan comes out. He's announced as the pinch hitter for Manziel. Manziel 0 for 2 in this game. And Pinto, the lefty, is warming up, but he has not been effective against left-handed batters. And Sullivan, who is 1 for 12 with the Astros, is 1 for 7 as a pinch hitter. He had a 2-run pinch triple. That was in the San Francisco series in game number 3. Al Padrique, the bench coach, Brad Mills, look on as Sullivan hits for Manziel. Fly ball left field near the line, and that will go foul.
And Corey Sullivan, when he comes off that bench to pinch hit, he's up there hacking. Let's attack that first pitch. I think hitting for Manziel here is something that Brad Mills probably wouldn't be doing if the Astros weren't 3-9 and haven't won in their own ballpark yet. I think he feels a sense of urgency to kind of keep this thing going after that sluggish start. Fairly atypical to hit for your shortstop in a 1-run game in the 6th. Again, but I think it's a sense of urgency created by the sluggish start. Chance to win this game.
Jeff Keppinger might move over to play shortstop. Kaz Matsui could come off the bench and play second. There are other options. Strike, and it's 0-2 to Corey Sullivan, the former Colorado Rocky and New York Met. Hunter Pence, the runner at second, and behind him J.R. Tolles at first with 2 outs on an 0-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Volstad is 90 pitches into the game. He threw 117 in his last start. Baker knocked that one down. Little bouncer slowly hit. Wells Helms cuts across for the 3rd out. It's 1 run, 2 hits, 2 left for the Astros. 4-3 Marlins through 6.
welcome you back to Minute Maid. Invite you to join us on the post-game show. Dave, it looked like we were going to have a 10-8 game the way this thing started off. Both starting pitchers have really settled in.
Yeah, after a couple of frantic opening innings, both starting pitchers settled in, pitched very well. Lance Berkman obviously has had an immediate impact in his return with an RBI, a double, and a hard hit line drive, and a couple of clutch hits, obviously, from J.R. Tolles.
All right, we'll hear from Lance Berkman coming up on the post-game show. So be sure and join us for that. I know Bill Brown and Jim DeShays certainly will. They're always there, at least for the first 5 minutes, guys.
We're there for you, Kevin.
Jeff Kepinger's there at shortstop, moving from second base. Kazuo Matsui has come off the bench to play second base, and that in the number 8 spot. And Brett Myers trailing 4-3. Moves on to the 7th inning with Wes Helms taking, and it's ball 1 to Helms. That's the 98th pitch for Myers. Pitcher Chris Volstad on deck for the Marlins. Helms doubled and scored in the 2nd. He's ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, it's go time for Myers. He's due to lead off the bottom half of the inning, so this will be it for him if he can make it through the 7th.
He goes to 2-1 on Helms. There's a breakdown with 30 pitches coming in that first inning.
Yeah, half of his pitches coming in the first 2 frames.
Now 3 balls, 1 strike. With those numbers for Myers. No walks. Myers 2 strikeouts shy of 1,000 for his career now. And a liner goes to Keppinger. 1 out. Chris Volstad is being called back now. Freddie Gonzalez will send up a pinch hitter for Volstad. Mike Lamb. Mike is looking for his first hit this year with the Marlins. He is 0 for 8. Does have an RBI as a pinch hitter. 0 for 5 with a run batted in. And Volstad is in a position to be the winning pitcher for the 2nd time this year. .49 home runs for Mike with the Astros from 04 through 07. He hit the first World Series home run as an Astro. And the fans are applauding Mike as he steps up to pinch hit. Bounces 1 to second. Matsui lost his balance and then regained it. That was an exciting 4-3 play.
He hadn't been out there in a while.
He staggered on that one.
Well, let's see if we can see what happened to Caswell here. When he went to set his right foot, it just slid out from underneath him.
Two outs, and now it's Cameron Maben. Maben 1 for 3 with a run scored. Taps it for strike 1. Chris Volstad's pitching line was 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs allowed, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Volstad's been a good pitcher in the month of April, 3-1 with a 2.91 career ERA this month. 1 ball, 1 strike. Myers due to lead off in the bottom of the inning, to be followed by Bourne and Keppinger. 2 hopper Feliz. In the 7th, Myers completes his 7th inning of work and keeps his club in the game, trailing 4-3 over Florida. Myers and the 2010 F-150. By Fred Loya Insurance. And by your Texas Chevy dealers. Nightfall has come to downtown Houston, and here in the big city, it is a good ball game going to the bottom of the 7th inning. We have moves, and the folks at Top Union Station are looking down on the new pitcher. And they're looking down on a pinch hitter, Jeff Blum, as our Verizon call to the bullpen brings in the right-hander, Tim Wood, to face Jeff Blum. Pinch hitting for Brett Myers, and he takes ball 1.
And Wood pitched 18 times for the Marlins last year, 5 this season. No wins or losses, a 5.79 ERA. 27-year-old right-hander. 6 foot and $180.
It's 1-1. Brett Myers leaving after 7 innings, allowing 8 hits, 4 runs. Blum smacks a pinch hit to right center field. And Jeff, who had the big hit on Sunday in the 9th inning, an RBI double to score Hunter Pence with the tying run, comes through with a second straight at bat.
Brett Myers solid again tonight, on the wrong end of the decision right now, but that could change in a hurry if the Astros can unload on Wood. He did not throw many pitches from the stretch, Brett Myers, after that 2nd inning. Just a couple of base runners, one of them a home run.
Michael Bourne is 0 for 2 with a walk, 2 steals, and a run scored. Blum draws a throw. 24,135 the paid attendance. Myers did not walk anybody. He had a strikeout. Bourne looks at ball 1. Leo Nunez is the closer. Dave Clark with signs for Michael. Keppinger on deck. Wood got his first major league save April 5th at Citi Field against the Mets. He had only 4 saves in the minors. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
A pretty good arm. That one clocked at 95 miles an hour.
Wood was in 18 games last year for Florida with a 1-0 record and a 2.82 ERA. Bill's hoping Bourne keep it rolling here after Blum picked up his first pinch hit of the year and the Astros 5th. It's 2-1 to Michael.
Got out of his game there a little bit. So good. Hitting the ball the other way. It looked like he was trying to yank that one.
Brett Myers had 2 strikeouts in his 7 innings. The throw goes over on Blum at first. Wood was a 44th round draft choice.
1,310th player picked in 2002. I'd say he beat the odds.
He sure did. He's from Tucson, went to Pima Community College there. Bourne works a walk, his second walk of the night. So the Astros have equaled their best in a game this year with 3 walks. Blum to second with nobody out for Keppinger. Might be bunting here. He's 0 for 3, but if that happens, then first base is open with Berkman coming up. So we'll see how they play it with Randy St. Clair coming out.
And it just depends on how Freddie Gonzalez wants to manage his bullpen.
Brandon Lyon and Wilson Lopez warming up for Houston.
Even though Lance is just back into the lineup, I don't think Freddie lets Lance swing left-handed here. If Keppinger gets the bunt down, he's either going to put him on or bring a lefty in to turn Lance around, would be my guess. But first things first, he's got to deal with Keppinger.
Keppinger with a fly ball to right, a grounder to the pitcher, and a fly ball to center. Coming up with 2 men on, down by 1, nobody out in the 7th. Astros trying to do what they did on Sunday afternoon, come from behind. 13 straight Astros had been set down through the 7th inning, and they didn't have any runs. They got runs in the 8th, 9th, and 10th to win it. Marlins bring Cantu in looking for a bunt, and Helms, and the bunt goes third base line, barehanded. Helms to Ugla covering, sacrifice Keppinger. The runners move up. Blum to third, Bourne to second, and here's Berkman.
Just a perfect first and second sacrifice bunt down the third base line, stays on the grass. The third baseman can't afford to wait. He's got to play it. He's got no other option than first base.
Well, the Marlins do not have anybody warming up right now. So that means we'll see the intentional walk probably to Berkman. With Lee coming up with the bases loaded and 1 out after that then. They did have the lefty Raniel Pinto warming up some time ago. We're about to see them pitch to him apparently, or hope that he'll chase something off the plate. Very interesting. Fly ball to second. Blum coming home, and the Astros are able to get that tying run in as Berkman drives it in to make it a 4-4 ball game. Very interesting. Well, Lance picks up his second run batted in. Bourne to third base on out number 2.
And with 2 runners on, they were forced to play the infield back because a base hit there would have given the Astros the lead.
Carlos Lee can do that. Looks at ball 1. He has a double in 3 trips. Hunter Pence is on deck. At the end of the bat, it's 1-1. Chris Bolstad's win goes away, and it's a tie game. Astros tied for the first time all night. Lee with a pop-up down the right field line, and the second baseman Ugla comes over for the catch. The Astros tie it in the 7th with 1 run, 1 hit. They leave a runner, and it's 4-4 through 7. 8th inning coming, and today's Energy Insight is brought to you by CenterPoint Energy with JD.
Well, Brett Myers, solid effort tonight. No decision, 7 innings. He allows 8 hits and 4 runs. And in his welcome back game, Lance Berkman has been productive. 1 out of 4, 2 driven in. Pretty active day out there in the field and on the bases.
Brandon Lyon comes into this tie game. He's 0-1. His ERA is 10.13.
And Brandon has worked 6 times. 4 times he's pitched scoreless baseball, and the other 2 times, not so much. Score full, what'd you say? It's not score less, it's score full.
Score full.
Gave up 3 in 1 inning to the Phillies, and then Saturday in Chicago, in 2/3 of an inning, allowed 4 hits and 3 runs.
Chris Coughlin took strike 1. He has a pair of hits. He's driven in a run and scored 1 tonight. 8 hits for the Marlins, 6 for the Astros. Each glove has an error. Fouled, and it's 0-2. Ramirez and Cantu to follow against Lyon here in the 8th inning. The Astros will send Pence, Feliz, and Tolles to the plate in the bottom half. In tight, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count for Brandon Lyon. Astros relievers have combined to win 1, lose 2 with a 5.45 ERA. Up the middle to Lyon. 1 out. Here's our Coors Light Cold Hard Glass, and we take a look at Jorge Cantu, one of the hot hitters in Major League Baseball in the early going. And he's continued that tonight with the blast in the 6th inning. He's back of Landry's Crawford boxes. Home run number 4 for Cantu, who's driven in 2 tonight, giving 18 runs batted in his first 14 games. He gets strike 1 on the edge. Brandon Lyon. And Ramirez with that RBI single in the first, and twice has grounded back to the pitcher.
The mound's been a busy spot tonight. A lot of comebackers.
Unusually so for some reason. 1-1. Atlanta got 3 in the last of the 9th and has forced extra innings, with the Phillies now batting in the 10th, tied 3-3 with the Braves. Gloss and Hayward have gone deep for Atlanta. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Both members of my fantasy club. Oh, way to go, boys.
You are riding high tonight.
Look what LA did. They scored 4 in the 8th to tie the Reds 9-9.
Now the Reds just got 2 in the bottom half of the 8th, and they're up 11-9.
Oh my.
Crazy game. Matt Kemp hit number 6 for the Dodgers. To right field, Hunter Pence. 2 down for Brandon Lyon. Jorge Cantu, we just got a look at him on the home run, and we now get another look at him on our RBI leaders. Brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. There he is atop the heap with 18. It's Hayward, Kemp, Pujols, and Young behind him.
Cantu flies beneath the radar, but he's a solid run producer.
Strike 1 to him. Well, he sure does. He gets very little attention nationally. 4 balls, 2 strikes. Drove in 117 in 05 for the Rays. He had a broken foot the next year. His production was curtailed quite a bit. He taps it foul. And a slider by Lyon.
29 home runs for the Marlins in 2008. He drove in 95 that year, drove in 100 last season. He's only 28. You figure he's Going to be in the prime of his career for another 3 or 4 years.
Struck him out. A nice 8th inning for Brandon Lyon. Keeps this game tied 4-4. Bottom of the 8th next. Is brought to you by BBVA. Built for success. Ground out, scoring Michael Bourne in the first. Now he plays the bunt. No play at third. Throws over Myers to first, where Keppinger makes a good play. Diving play here on a line drive to first. And now a shot to left field for a double. That was in the 3rd inning. Another ground out. Got the tying run home in the 7th to make it a 4-4 game, scoring Jeff Plum. Now the bottom of the 8th inning opens with Hunter Pence taking from Tim Wood. And there's ball 1 to Hunter. He's had an infield hit, a ground out, and a walk. Feliz and Tolles to follow here in the Astros 8th inning. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Well, you know, Matt Lindstrom would love to get another shot at a save against his former club here tonight, the Florida Marlins.
Well, just have Hunter hits his hanging fastball up in the train track, and then we'll go get that save.
Line shot, left field corner. It's hooking, it's fair. And Hunter will get a double. Coghlan goes deep into the corner to hold him to a 2-base hit. First double of the year for Hunter Pence. Oh, he felt so good before this game tonight. He was really positive.
I remember his last at bat, he started 2 balls, no strikes, and then Volstad threw a real good breaking ball in the outside corner to make it 2-1. Ultimately walked him. This time 2-0 count. They challenged with the fastball. He didn't knock it up in the railroad tracks, but he put a good swing on it.
Hit number 7 for the Astros. 3 have been doubles. Now Pedro Feliz 0 for 3 in this game. Upstairs for ball 1. It was Feliz who accounted for the game-winning run in the 10th inning Sunday with a sac fly, scoring Jason Michaels. And he has a chance once again for a late inning blow, which could be the game decider. Pulls off a little bit, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Boston got 2 in the 8th and has tied Texas 6-6 in the bottom of the 8th. Jeremy Hermida, the former Marlin, hit his 3rd. Line shot left field. Pence had to hold. He'll get to third base. Get a stop sign there on the single by Feliz. That ball was blasted, but Hunter could not take a chance on getting doubled off. He had to wait for that ball to clear the infield before he ran to third.
And no chance whatsoever to score on this ball. You'll see it here. You see the secondary lead. The ball hit on the line. A little hesitation. And Coughlin's up with it well before Hunter gets to third base.
Matt Lindstrom, the former Marlin, is warming up for the Astros, and it's lefty Reniel Pinto in the Marlins bullpen. Randy St. Clair out. Runners at first and third and nobody out. J.R. Tolles the batter, then Matsui on deck. And the pitcher spot is due up. Lee's really blasted that ball, but he hit it too hard to score Hunter, and just the wrong place to get an RBI. Good solid contact by Feliz.
Marlins will pull the infield in here. Well, he's got to come home. He can't afford to allow the go-ahead run to score in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
Tolles has driven in a pair. Both singles have gone up the middle. All ball for strike one to J.R.
And Hunter's got to go on any ground ball here. They want to turn two. He'd go ahead and waltz home.
Marlins 5 for 7 in saves. Line drive will go foul. And it's 0-2.
Wood not fooling anybody in this inning.
Matsui on deck. Tolles had an 0-2 count when he got his RBI single in the second inning off Bolstad. Strikeout for Wood. One out. Now Matsui, who is 0 for his last 17.
J.R. with 2 strikes in a little bit of a protect mode. Trying to wait and see the ball a little longer so he doesn't get fooled by the breaking pitch, but cannot catch up to the heater.
Well, Matsui comes up in a big situation here. 2 for 21 to open the season, looking for his first run batted in. He hasn't played since Thursday in St. Louis. Showing bunt, he takes ball 1.
Not a squeeze play. Pence was not moving with the pitch. So we wanted to take a look at one, thinking maybe he could drag a bunt. Hunter could sneak home that way, kind of like Terrio did to the Astros the other day with the bases loaded.
Jason Michaels is on deck. Nothing going on there as Wood looks at third, then at first. A bunt pushed to first, and Hunter Pence comes home, and the Astros have the lead, 5-4. Matsui got the runner home by dropping down a bunt.
And again, not a squeeze play. Hunter just coming down the line a little bit, reading the bunt. And he has the option to come or stay put. And Cantu, I think he's got to take a shot at home there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he had much of a chance, but.
Time now for our extraordinary play, brought to you by Land Rover.
I don't know. To me, he comes off the bag, and it is kind of lackadaisical the way he went after it. I think you got to come full bore on that one with a do or die mentality, kind of like a third baseman fielding a swinging bunt, or it's the bottom half of the 8th inning in a tie game.
Yeah. Now Jason Michaels is the pinch hitter here for Brandon Lyon, who could be the winning pitcher. There's 4-1 to J. Mike. He came up with a big clutch pinch double in the 10th inning at Chicago. Scored the winning run on Sunday. It's lefty Sean Marshall. Bangs that one off his leg. 1-1 to J. Mike. Well, the Astros get another run on an out. It's ruled a sacrifice for Matsui and an RBI, his first of the year. And they have scored 3 runs on outs in this game. 2 on Berkman ground outs. Left to left field. Jason Michaels has left the building.
Boy, he's been swinging it well.
2-run pinch homer, number 2 of the season in the home run category for Jason Michaels. That's his first pinch homer, and he's now 2 for 4 as a pinch hitter. 7-4 Astros.
He only has 13 at-bats this year. He's got 2 home runs. No doubt about it.
Takes over the club lead in long balls. First pinch homer for an Astro since Darren Erstad connected against Kansas City last July 24th. Michael Bourne takes ball 1. Big swing of the bat by Michaels to give Lindstrom more working room now with a 3-run lead. And Jeff Blum with a pinch single in the 7th. So the bench has been extremely productive with Matsui figuring into that. Some kind of a night for the bench players. 2 balls and a strike. That was Michael's 6th career pinch hit home run. Oh, that is such a lift. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The Astros had trailed ever since the 2-run Marlin top of the first inning until they tied it in the 7th. Now Michaels gives them working room. And a line shot to Maben is caught. But the Astros pull out a big 3-run 8th inning. Pence with a double. Feliz a single. And then the bunt by Matsui gives them the lead. And J-Mike goes deep with a pinch 2-run shot. 7-4 Astros. Your Texas Ford dealers and the 2010 F-150. By the Progressive Insurance Group. And by Southwest Airlines. The Astros are riding a lead of 7-4. And it's Matt Lindstrom trying for his 3rd consecutive save in as many appearances. As JD mentioned earlier, he had a couple of 1-run saves in Chicago. Now he comes in with a 3-run margin and 2 for 2 in saves.
And got a little cushion to work with as he faces his former team. It's from a Florida Marlin in each of the last 3 seasons. Had 15 saves for the Fish last year.
Dan Uggla leads it off. He's 0 for 3. 2 lineouts to Berkman included. And upstairs, ball 1. Brandon Lyon in a position to be the winning pitcher. Out of 1, 2, 3, 8 with a strikeout. And the late inning Astros tendencies continue. 7 runs on 9 hits for Houston. 1 ball, 1 strike. They would be winners in 4 of their last 5 games if they can nail this one down.
If you're the catcher and you're looking to break in your mitt, a new mitt, this would be a good guy to catch. Soften that leather for you.
If you're looking to break in your hand, you might do that too. Or break your hand. 2 balls and a strike. This guy can get close to 100 miles per hour. You don't want to be catching this guy with a bone bruise on your thumb or anything like that. Keppinger to his left. Takes care of out number 1.
Visit the official online shop of the Astros at astros.com. There you'll browse the largest selection of official gear. We've got the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, authentic classics, all kinds of good stuff at the astros.com shop.
Now 1 out for Lindstrom. Well, Myers did a nice job to stay in this game for 7 innings. Now Baker. Baker's 1 for 3.
Yeah, I remember having that conversation with Dirk years ago when he was managing. Would you rather have 6 innings and 3 runs allowed from your starter, or 7 innings and 4? And Dirk was in favor of 7 innings and 4. And most people I talked to say, just save that bullpen. And given that Brett threw 50 pitches in the first 2 innings, that was a heck of a job to bounce back the way he did.
1-1.
Looking like a short night for him.
Now looking at the long haul. Astros have appearances for Chris Sampson, 7. Tim Burdack, 8. Brandon Lyon now has 7. So they're piling up for Brad Arnsberg's club early. But with days off early in the season, that is not such a concern.
Oh, my.
2-1. Yeah. Pitch came in at 95 miles per hour.
Looks like Dana Demuth flinched on this one a little bit, too. He wanted to call it. Nope.
Baker gets one out into right field with a quick bat. And Baker's 2 for 4.
My theory on catchers when they hit off guys that they used to catch. Distinct advantage.
He had a 2-1 count. He was ready to turn that bat loose on the inside heater. Now Berkman plays behind him for Cody Ross. Ross 0 for 3. Helms on deck. Mike Lamb was the only left-handed pinch hitter on the bench, and he was used in the 7th inning. That's strike 1. We talked after the game, after Matt Lindstrom saved the 3-2 10-inning win with Matt Sunday. He said he was trying to throw some 2-seam fastballs that were getting away from him a little bit, so he had to rely on the 4-seamer, the riding fastball in that game. Bouncer, Berkman, 2 outs. Baker to 2nd.
You know what it is? Power pitchers always want to trick people and be finesse guys, and finesse guys always wish they could throw 97 miles an hour. Sometimes guys like Matt, 2-seamer will sink. I'll give myself a ground ball. And then, wait a minute here, I throw 98. Let me just throw that 4-seamer. Put a little extra hair on it and throw it by him.
Now Brad Mills' club back home after the first homestand. Went 0-6, trying for his first win at home as an Astros manager. 1 out to go, and it's Wes Helms batting. Helms with a double in 3 trips tonight. Gabby Sanchez is on deck. Pitcher spot due up next. Fans have seen a very entertaining game. Strike. Ground ball, foul. 0-2 to Helms. And Lindstrom, who was drafted by the Mets in 02, traded to the Marlins in 06. Now trying to close down Florida.
A lot of ways he can go now. No balls and 2 strikes. Slider off the outside corner, or just run that high fastball up above the hands.
One and 2.
Yeah, I don't care what they say. If I'm a closer in this situation, you want to close the game with a punch out. You're a little greedy. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Understandable.
I mean, you take whatever you can get.
In the dirt, it gets by J.R. Tolles. And Baker moves to third base. And a wild pitch by Lindstrom.
Yeah, that slider, he throws it hard. When he gets on top of it, it's got real tight rotation. That's a difficult pitch to try to pick with your mitt. Not a critical situation here, but if it were, I think you'd be better off taking the glove right out of the equation there if you're JR, just trying to block it with the chest protector. I mean, he's trying to pick this one. That's tall order.
Second wild pitch for Lindstrom this season. Now 3-2 to Helms. If he reaches, Gabby Sanchez pinch hits for Tim Wood and represents the potential tying run for Freddie Gonzalez. That'll be out of play. St. Louis and Arizona are tied 4-4 in the bottom of the third. Albert Pujols hit his 6th homer. Ryan Ludwig hit his 2nd and 3rd. Helms battling here. Marlins have lost the first game of each series so far. They played 4 series, but they've not lost a series yet. Again, Helms gets a bat on it. Could be a fun clubhouse after this game if the Astros protect it. Lance Berkman coming back to the lineup, driving in a pair. Carlos Lee with a double. Matsui, his only plate appearance with a bunt to get the go-ahead run home. Pinch 2-run homer by Michaels. Lyon could be the winner for the first time as an Astro. A lot of different angles.
We were talking earlier about clubhouse humor. And players, there is no mercy. I would imagine at some point Lance would ask Carlos how many RBIs he has so far this year.
Wow. Wes Helms is doing a heck of a job here.
You know, he probably feels that he could lock him up if he came inside with the fastball, but he might not get the call. And if he walks him, it brings the tying run to home plate.
They bounced that slider and it got by JR. .96 miles per hour. Helms has fouled off several here. 19 pitches for Lindstrom.
And most of what Matt throws, it's hard. You know, it's the plus fastball and a hard slider. He doesn't have a real off-speed pitch. He hasn't shown one. I'm sure he has a changeup, but he hasn't really shown it much. And if he does, he'd probably throw it to a left-handed hitter only. But this is the time where he might think, all right, I'm just going to throw a choked back, dead fish fastball up there.
Helms with a liner, drives in a run to make it 7-5. Great at bat for Wes Helms. RBI single, and he's 2 for 4. That'll bring up Gabby Sanchez, representing the potential tying run in this game. That was a 10-pitch at bat for Wes Helms.
That was an incredible at bat. And Lindstrom was giving him everything he had. Helms just kind of hung in there, fought off some tough pitches, got a fastball up.
He's aboard now, and Sanchez has been playing a lot, but got the night off. Has 43 at bats, a .279 average, 1 homer, 6 runs batted in for Gabby. .392 on base average. He's walked 8 times and struck out on 10 occasions. And he is batting for Wood. Sanchez, 26 years old, from Miami and the University of Miami. He was the Southern League MVP in 08. Last year had 21 at-bats for Florida. Hit .289 at New Orleans with 16 homers, driving in 56 there. And strike one. Sanchez pinch hitting for the first time this season. He was a 4th round pick in the 05 draft by Florida. Swings at the slider. 0-2.
Little Bagwell-esque at home plate, the way he squats in the batter's box. Not open like Baggy, but really. Well, he got those big, strong legs, just kind of sit low. Get the legs on this kid.
He chops one over the mound. Matsui in and flips to first for the final out. So Lindstrom needs 23 pitches, but nonetheless closes out his former club. Brad Mills Astros notch their first home win of the season in return of Lance Berkman, who drives in 2. He has a double. The Astros come from behind, and they take it. Final score, Astros 7, Marlins 5.